All right, so welcome back to part two of our time here on Thrive America with Mark Wyssbrod. Mark, let's jump into a couple of your talking points here and so forth. You talk about the things we need to do to prepare your business for the coming economy. And in our first segment, we talked about building liquidity, building a stockpile of cash to prepare for the growth as we come out of this recession, and then being more productive and efficient in our business and how we can increase our internal workflow systems and so on and so forth. Here we're kind of talking. To me, it feels like we're talking about a mental state of being in this economy. So looking for opportunity. So from an accountant's perspective, what is that? Educate me on what that means for you. Looking for opportunity.
Well, looking for opportunity is something that I think helps our spirit. I try to be a realist, and a couple of years ago when we started forecasting and warning our clients about a real estate bubble, we were looked at as pessimists, and I feel like sometimes we're being looked at as cheerleaders now, but we're really just trying to stay grounded to reality and do its best and try to forecast, well, where's our economy going? Looking for opportunities extremely important because we need to spend our time and energies not complaining about what's already happened or current situations, but we need to spend that time and energy on solutions. Spotting opportunity is a quick way of saying that. If we're not looking for business is still happening, but if we're not looking for business, then it could walk right in front of us and we'll never see it because we're too busy beating ourselves up and looking at everything from more of a negative slant. So without being too much of a cheerleader, let's stay optimistic but be well grounded and continue to spot good opportunities for our business and for our personal finances.
I know a great resource for those that may watch this show is your blog. And I know on your blog you were looking at the real estate economic concerns several years ago. I know we've had discussions about that, and I know it's probably you can't definitely say when we're going to come out of the recession. But on your blog, do you keep your readers up to date on what your perspective is, and can that be a resource for people to?
It could be. My blog is wyssblog.com, wyssblog.com. I also have written a couple articles about this on ezinearticles.com. My original forecast was this was going to be a 2010 turnaround. It could be a little bit longer now. I think we definitely have to make those sacrifices and rework our businesses here in the short term before the economy turns. But I want to put I think we'll do better if we put a positive twist to keep our focus on really what needs to be done and why are we working so hard.
I think now getting back to looking for opportunity, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of circles and a lot of people complaining about the economy, blaming the economy, and I think rightfully so. Those conversations are justified, and I think me included. I think I will participate in some of these discussions throughout the year. But I think it's important and to kind of make it more in layman's term what this looks like. I participate in some live networking events. It's probably wiser for me to leave the circles of people that are complaining about the economy and look for or maybe offer a solution in my business for those who are complaining about the economy, but just to have a positive mental outlook. Is that
right? I don't want to sugarcoat or cheerlead too much, but and I do think it's okay to complain. But one of the pieces of advice I was given years ago was if you're going to complain, come up with 3 solutions, and that way you're coming up with, okay, here's what I'm going to do about it. Sometimes when we complain, that just ends up snowballing, and that's not helping the situation out at all. And we really need to focus on what needs to be done.
So let's go on to your next point on the 4 things to do to prepare for business growth, which is being prepared. Now, from an accountant's perspective, what does that look like for you, being prepared?
Well, I think let's first have a plan. Let's get out of some of our short-term mindset and really come up with what does our business need to accomplish, or how does it need to be positioned in 12 or 18 or 24 months. It seems like the mentality has been almost day to day or week to week, and that doesn't help us with any of our visions or achieving our long-term goals. I think the great thing about all 4 points that we've talked about today is that these points will help us during this short-term, definitely challenging economic time, but will help us in the long term as well.
Mm-hmm. And I know your company focuses on being proactive, and I can kind of see this point being made here. It seems like you want your clients to be prepared and thus be proactive and sort of anticipate the rebound. Mm-hmm. Is that part of what the planning is, and planning for that rebound?
I think especially the building liquidity portion will definitely help us plan for the rebound. When the economy begins to grow again, I truly believe that banks will still not be free with lending money to their clientele, and small businesses can't count on that. So how's a small business going to grow? Where is it going to get that capital or cash to fuel its own growth when it happens? So we really need to hamper down on some of the smaller items for when the corner turns, that we're ready to take off.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned goals, and I think we take for granted that you might assume that every business has set goals, and I think a lot of businesses, like myself included, fly by the seat of our pants sometimes, and we don't set long-term goals. And I think maybe that's time for maybe a consultant to come in, or like you said, a brainstorming meeting with your peers and your family or your trusted advisors to come in and say, okay, what are some realistic goals that we can set in the long term, and what then kind of work backwards. How can we take baby steps to achieve those goals?
Correct. There are definitely consultants out there that will help with branding and visioning, that you could go hire to make sure that you understand what you want to accomplish in the long term. Then you could build a roadmap to get there.
Mm-hmm. So, kind of winding down here, Mark, tell us a little bit more about your business, about Proactive. And you mentioned, I know your belief system is keeping your clients ahead of the game, and when it comes to taxing, comes to your taxes, and personally want to thank you for helping us stay above the line. But a little bit more about what you do and your philosophy when you approach a new client, maybe.
Sure. Well, we believe we are hired to act in our clients' best interest, and that means understanding their business and their goals and creating an efficient tax strategy, helping them make better business decisions and better personal finance decisions, and never letting the tax tail wag the dog. You could reach Proactive at 770-664-8583, or we're online at pro-active-cpa.com.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on our show, Mark. We hope to bring you back real soon, and keep us up to date on the economic climate. I know on your blog we can keep up to date on there, and we'll see you soon on another episode of Thrive America.